What up, friendos? Welcome back. We're doing something today we've not done in a few months, and that's checking in on Web3. How's it going? We're asking those questions. And according to Molly White, and Web3 is going just great, which is a fantastic resource to check in to see what's going on in Web3. It's going great. It's going just great. So Solana goes down for 5 hours. Solana, if you don't know, is one of the bigger, upstart blockchains that's been running for some years now. Got really big in the last 6 months or so, and has had concerns about the downtime and it basically going down repeatedly, which just happened recently. Things were going so well. After suffering a slew of outages during 2022, Solana had seemed to get their act together in 2023 with only one major outage. Now, however, Solana has gone offline again for 5 hours. With blockchains promising to become world computers upon which anyone can create projects ranging from mere toys to critical infrastructure, uptime is crucial, and a 5 hour long outage is devastating. Now, this one, for crypto standards, is actually not that bad. This is one of those where I'm like, yeah, whatever. It sucks and it shouldn't be happening, but we all know websites and services go down all the time. Maybe this time it was out of their control. And it is what it is. It's just another outage for Solana, and it's in the grand scheme of things, it's okay. It's going just great. This one I do love to see. SIM swappers charged over hacks, reportedly including FTX. So SIM swapping, as far as I understand it, as long as we're talking about the thing that I think it is basically where people will social engineer stealing your SIM card. So they'll go into like an AT&T or whatever. Is that a mobile carrier in America? I'm not American. Whatever. One of your, freedom shops where you go in and you buy a SIM card and you get your phone plans and things like that. They'll go in and they'll social engineer taking your, transferring your number, essentially your SIM, to a new one. And then they access all your shit through two-factor. So obviously this works for two-factor that's tied to your phone number, and not two-factor that, for instance, doesn't have anything to do with your actual SIM card. I believe that's what SIM swapping is, unless I'm thinking of something completely different. But basically, this has happened to a whole bunch of people. They get targeted specifically. So usually it's people in high power positions or people that have a social media presence, where they've said, like, this is me, I'm X person, and here's, everyone knows I have these expensive NFTs, I have this expensive portfolio in cryptocurrency, and then they just become a target for some people to just, again, social engineer their way into their phone SIM card and steal all their shit, just go in and clear their cryptocurrency accounts out. Isn't it fantastic when you've got custody of potentially millions of dollars, and you have no recourse other than the police and hope that they can actually return the funds? So 3 people running the SIM swapping operation have been charged with fraud and identity theft by gaining access to the personal information of the victims and then convincing... Oh, so I could have just read this and explained what SIM swapping is, but that's what we get, I guess. Convincing cell phone providers to swap victims' phone numbers to phones they controlled. They were then able to gain access to various accounts controlled by their victims. One of the things with this as well is when you SIM swap somebody, if if their crypto accounts are not tied to their phone number for recovery, what you can also do, if the person is high profile or trusted within a community, is then post phishing links to their social media, Discord servers that they're moderators or admins in or whatever else, and basically steal a whole bunch of money that way from people who trust them or projects that they're involved in or in charge of. And if there's both, then you can double dip. So again, this is another thing where if you're a high profile person and you have social media and you have, the fact that you're wealthy or involved in a big project in cryptocurrency attached to your person, then you should probably be really aware of SIM swapping and taking precautions, as well as probably don't tie your real identity to the fact that you're bragging or displaying that you have a bunch of wealth in assets they can very quickly and easily steal. Although the indictment does not name FTX, Bloomberg has reported that victim company 1, named in the court filings, was FTX, which was hacked for around $400 million amid the chaos as the company was collapsing. So this is something I've not seen widely reported, but was talked about in some of the initial court files, was that there was a big hack for FTX and it just never got mentioned at the time. Like, it wasn't disclosed to the public that there was, potentially hundreds of millions of dollars that had been stolen. And it's fucking mad that a company, we all know at this stage that FTX's finances were so fucked, and it was basically like a clown show in terms of how the security was being managed, or more appropriately, not at all being managed. The fact that you're capable to steal one person's SIM card and then take $400 million from their business is fucking mad. But I do like to see when people get, indicted and criminally face charges for anything related to crypto, basically. Stealing from crypto bros, as much as I do like to laugh at crypto bros, it is still legal, it's still bad, and especially when it comes to other people's money, and not just like somebody who made a shitty project and it's their money. When it comes to other people, retail investors and things like that, your average person who just wants to change their life by putting money in cryptocurrency, I'm always going to stand behind those people and justice for those people, and hopefully they get their money back. So crypto exchange created by 3 Hours Capital founders to shut down. So if you don't know what 3 Hours Capital is, I did a video on it at some point, but due to some copyright issues, we had to take it down. I'll probably, once I get access to that hard drive again, which is sadly in England at the moment, remake the video with some updated information and stuff. But basically, 3 Hours Capital was one of the big main firms in crypto that everyone trusted and thought was amazing, and also one of the big, dominoes that fell and caused or massively contributed to a massive financial hole in cryptocurrency that continued to grow and basically suck in like a black hole a bunch of companies around it, and probably wiped out, hundreds of billions, maybe even more money in cryptocurrency, and fucking wrecked a whole bunch of people. So they were operating really badly, I'd say possibly fraudulently, and due to them failing, it exposed a bunch of other companies that were basically operating in similar fashions, right? Because they were all commingling funds, they were all making like deals and had money from each other. So when one went down, basically it fucking cascaded, and a bunch of companies went down with them. So I don't know if they created this after that all happened, because I'm fairly sure they're still out there somewhere. In fact, I think one was arrested recently, right? Was Suzu? Yeah, Suzu was arrested recently to be released, faces Singapore court questioning. I'm not sure what came of this. I didn't follow it. I saw the article about the arrest originally, but, I've not really looked into it. So who can believe this? OPNX, the crypto derivatives exchange created by the people who ran and then blew up the 3 Hours Capital hedge fund, will be shutting down. The exchange was originally announced in January 2023, so after. Oh, I covered this. Yeah, the name GTX because G comes after F, they said. It was created as an evolution of the CoinFlex exchange, which had become insolvent and halted withdrawals in June 2022. Much of the exchange's focus was on allowing creditors of bankrupt cryptocurrency projects to trade their claims, including claims on 3 Hours Capital. So, yeah, I covered this at the time. I just completely blanked it for some reason. Imagine thinking that you have so much social capital or trust within a community that you can blow up billions of dollars, fucking ruin the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, then come back and have people do it again, right? And trust you and give you custody of their money or anything else. And also to trade on your own fucking bankruptcy claims on a project that you bankrupt. Like, man, I'd love to have that level of confidence, right? That you can just fuck people, and then when they're still recovering from the fucking, be like, yeah, go again. Now, as Suzu emerges from several months in jail, so yeah, there we go, it was covered in the thing, should probably read. He and Kyle Davies and the other executives of OPNX are shutting down the project. Good, fuck yourself. Traders have a week to settle their positions, and another week before the platform closes entirely. Both Zhu and Davies are, of course, trying to promote a new crypto derivatives trading project. Yeah, at this stage, I'm quite comfortable saying, if you get scammed or you're into something, because at the time, I will say, 3 Hours Capital had a lot of capital in the community because they came from a traditional finance background. They were peewees in the traditional market, in the traditional finance world. But they were still in traditional finance, and they were trained in traditional finance, and they came in and people were like, wow, some TradFi people coming in, and this is cool, this is amazing, and we're going to trust them, and surely they're going to be great for the space because, they're not traditional cryptocurrency degenerates that are in the basement fucking trading dog pictures and shit like that, waiting for their hot pockets to cook and mummy to bring down the tendies. These were actual like legit people, and people thought, wow, we'll really trust these guys and they're going to do great things. And then they fucked everybody. So trusting them at that stage when everyone's making a big deal about them and singing their praises, I can understand to an extent. But obviously once it gets to they've failed once and, they've been in jail and, there's possibly other stuff that's going to happen in the future regarding that, if I had to guess. If you trust them after that, that's on you, bro. Zero sympathy from me at that point. You get the sympathy at first, not after, man. Not after. I think you can see a cat behind me as well, look, right here. That's a good cat. That one's sleeping. These cats, not good. This one. So 112.5 million in XRP stolen from Ripple CEO Chris Lawson. I saw this pop up on Twitter, and he was trying to downplay it at the time. Like, it's all good. Everyone's money's fine. This doesn't affect Ripple at all. Ignoring the fact that if the fucking CEO of a company has $112 million stolen from them, the optics of that alone, whether or not the money has any bearing on Ripple and whether or not, because every time a lot of money's stolen from some big person in crypto, I always have to wonder, was that user funds? Was that money that was, given to you by users and should have been users' money left aside and then you maybe had access to it and it got stolen? I have to wonder, I'm not making an allegation, but I'm saying it has been quite common. But even if you ignore that and none of those funds were anything to do with anybody and it was just his money, congratulations, that's a large sum of money to have sitting there. Looks like cryptocurrency is fucking really lucrative, who would have guessed? Ignore that and just look at it optically. If the CEO of a company that people are trusting with their money, if he gets hacked and loses $112 million, that looks bad for the whole project, everything relating to it. So to say, it's fine, it's not a big deal, it is a big deal. If any CEO of any company lost this, you'd see the share price tank because it does represent a lapse in security as well as competence. So blockchain sleuth ZachXBT noticed a strange movement around 213 million XRP, the native token for the Ripple project. Zach's everywhere. Zach's like, he is a blockchain sleuth. He's like blockchain fucking Batman. The fact that he's the one that's noticing $112 million is going missing is great. So these tokens were priced at around 112.5 million at the time of the theft. He originally identified the source of funds as Ripple itself, though Ripple CEO Chris Lawson later went on Twitter to claim that the funds that were stolen had come from his personal wallets and not from wallets belonging to the Ripple project. We'll see. That will come out in time. Lawson attempted to downplay the massive theft, claiming repeatedly that the theft did not represent a threat to Ripple itself and trying to reassure people that Ripple wallets are still safe. Are they as safe as fucking yours was, mate? Because me personally, if I had 112 mil sat around, I'd be making sure that's real safe. But personally, I don't trust you, someone who lost $112 million, that anything's safe, actually. Not even one fucking bit. So, however, fears over a threat to Ripple itself and the true separation between Lawson's wallets and those belonging to the Ripple project continued, and XRP dipped around 5% on the news. 5% is, child numbers for that one. If this were me, I'd have sold everything immediately, move on. So here we go. This is the greatest fucking tagline in cryptocurrency history. Abracadabra exploited for almost $6.5 million, and their coin is called Magic Internet Money. So Magic Internet Money stablecoin DPEGs. You don't know what DPEGing is, not something you get your missus to do if you're into that sort of thing. DPEGing, basically a lot of cryptocurrency that are used as stable coins, they're supposed to be pegged usually 1-to-1 to the US dollar. So you always know 1 USDT is $1, 1 USDC is $1, whatever it's going to be. So Magic Internet Money is a cryptocurrency that's attached to Abracadabra, which is a decentralized finance protocol, and Magic Internet Money was supposed to be $1, and it's now lost its peg, dipping all the way below $0.77 in a flash crash before returning to around 0.95 cents. So if you have something that's supposed to be stable, and it ain't, you've got a real problem, because obviously this is what happened with Luna. Luna had a stable coin that was algorithmically backed. It didn't do well, crashed the price of Luna from whatever it was, like $90 or whatever, to, you know, cents within a couple of days. The depeg appears to be related to an exploit of the Abracadabra lending protocol, which allows people to borrow magic internet money. An attacker exploited an apparent flaw in the platform's smart contracts to drain around $6.5 million. This is the second time the token is depegged, after a June 2022 incident shortly after the Terra collapse. You know, like I said, seismic ripples when one of these big projects goes down. So here we go. Here's a fucking Ponzi scheme being busted. Hyperverse. I don't think I've actually heard of this one, which is crazy because apparently they stole $1.3 to $1.9 billion. So is this another one of those where somebody says, we're in crypto, we've got loads of crypto, we're making our own crypto, we're Bitcoin boys, we're big Bitcoin boys, and you can give us money and we'll, you know, you're a boomer that saw our ad on Facebook or whatever, you give us money and we'll buy Bitcoin and then we'll do stuff with it that you don't understand, usually involving AI and bots, because that's what every one of these fucking stupid Ponzi schemes does. But they never own any Bitcoin. There's never any bots other than, of course, the people that invest in these things. They might in fact be bots. And then the founders just take the money, and it's a typical Ponzi where they're robbing Peter to pay Paul, promising big returns, and then they pay some people some returns, so people go online and fight with each other. Because obviously the best defense in a scam is to basically just give a couple people some money, and then they can go and fight your battles for you and be like, but we earned some money, so clearly it can't be a scam, because if it was a scam, I wouldn't have earned any money, and then I put that money back in because I earned so much that now I'm going to earn way more because they're so fucking greedy. You know, that's a long tangent. Is it one of those? So US attorneys in Maryland and US Securities and Exchange Commission filed criminal and civil lawsuits, respectively, against Sam Lee, the co-founder of the Hyperverse cryptocurrency investment scheme, which has defrauded victims of between $1.3 billion and $1.9 billion, depending on whose estimate you use. The US attorneys have accused Lee of securities fraud and wire fraud. Usually, if one of these goes to the federal level and they bring criminal charges, bro, they've got you. Like, you're fucked. They've got you. They're not. The federal government in the US is not bringing charges against you on cryptocurrency fraud unless they've literally got you nailed to the fucking wall. So I'd hazard a guess, if I was to look through the actual filing here, that there's a whole bunch of evidence that would be irrefutable, and this guy's gonna get fucking wrecked. Congratulations, you played yourself. So the SEC has accused Lee and a major Hyperverse promoter, Brenda Inda Chunga, aka Bitcoin Beauty, okay, of securities fraud and offering unregistered securities. Who would have thought, mate, that saying you can buy cryptocurrency and then sharing the profits would constitute for unregistered security? That's fucking mad. This is the second Hyperverse-related criminal charge in recent days, following the arrest of promoter Bitcoin Rodney. You fucking what, blood? Bitcoin? Who's Bitcoin? Oh, he is Bitcoin Rodney. So he's got a criminal complaint. Unlucky Rodney. Hopefully it was worth it anyway, chilling those fucking Ponzi scheme coins. But I mean, if the US government really wanted to go after everyone who did that, half the people on Twitter with a follower count over 1,000 would be in prison at this point. Because seriously, if you're some kind of influencer, a crypto person or whatever on Twitter, are you really even involved if you've not shilled a Ponzi scheme or a fucking meme coin or something at some point? Usually undisclosed, usually taking some payment on the back end. It's just so common that it's like, for every one of these motherfuckers that gets caught doing some kind of like unregistered promotion or promoting a scam, there's like 500 that didn't get caught that probably never will, even though they're banged to rights and you can see it with your own eyes, and maybe nobody's reported them or they're just too small fry and they just get to make a load of money and fucking walk off into the sunset and then go legit and pretend everything was all right. It's fucking mad, really, but that's crypto. It really is. For every like one good actor, because a lot of people get my take on cryptocurrency mixed up because I like to have fun and laugh and say, you know, it's all bullshit and it's run by idiots and blah, 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 which I do think is 99% of people in cryptocurrency, especially the people buying it, man. Arguing with people or seeing the opinions of people that have heavily invested in crypto and don't even want to acknowledge the massive litany of issues It's just frustrating, and that's what makes me want to sort of double down on being like, yeah, it's fucking dumb, isn't it? But my actual opinion on crypto is there's some people in crypto that are really legit, and there's some people that really do believe, and they're not delusional, and they see a future use case for some stuff. And there are actual applications where I can see a point. The problem is that what's attached to that is, I think from a very foundational level, poisonous. Like, a lot of people, even if they have good intentions, fall victim to greed. And then that turns to malevolence at some point. And there's 1,000,001 problems with just creating something that, you know, there's no legal standing for it existing. And obviously we know a lot of companies do things to placate, you know, investors and people involved, in even games do it with community and things like that. And the constant gaslighting that comes from communities and people telling you, you know, if you don't like this and you don't want this, you don't understand. But yeah, I just think the whole fucking industry is a complete mess. And obviously, we only cover the negative stuff here because the not negative stuff is really not interesting or fun. But I think that's a good contrast to the fact that the people that are invested in crypto heavily, at least most of them, and I do have cryptocurrency, by the way, I do own crypto, so I am invested. But I think the majority of people who are invested in cryptocurrency are completely blind and just push the narrative of everything's great, this is the future. You know, this is the Blu-ray to the fucking DVD. It's a guarantee. And then there's all the FOMO and convincing people to like get in on this thing, which I think is dangerous and irresponsible. And obviously I like my coverage to be a complete counter to that. But obviously most people that watch my videos on cryptocurrency don't care about investing in crypto and just want to laugh, which is also perfectly valid. So that's why we'll continue to do it. And then some of the people that are investing in crypto will get upset invariably, and some people will be like, yeah, you've got a point there. But either way, that's it, we're done. Go to the link in the video description, buy gamer subs. They even do noodles now, mate. You can even buy gamer soups, instant noodles. Can you see that? Go on camera, you can do it. There you go. Look, let's trigger some people. You can buy lean with Joe Biden. You can buy anime girl thigh, and a whole bunch of other great flavors. They come in caffeinated or uncaffeinated. You pour them in water, you drink it. Good times. Tastes good, keto friendly, you know, no sugars, all that good stuff. And there's a link in the video description that gives you a discount code. It's my discount code. It's KiraTV or something like that. And if you use that, you'll get money off. I'll get a kickback of whatever you spend. So that's a win-win. I mean, it's almost like investing in cryptocurrency, right? I don't know why I'm saying that. GameStops, please continue to have my discount code and give me money. All right, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.